what I'm going to show you is how to get a sense of distance in a short area. So I use this a lot with leaves in trees. I paint the leaves at the back pale, and as I come towards the front, I paint the strong leaves that I see right in front of me dark. So it gives a real sense of there's a ton of leaves there, and it's using a thing which I call atmospheric perspective, but really exaggerating it. It was a really complex flower in the middle here, a whole globe of these crazy little curly petals, and so we needed to clarify it. So we put the petals that were at the back in pale, and we put the strong colour in the 2 or 3 petals that are at the front. And so it clarifies the shape much better. And see, it kind of gives you the sense of the things at the back being in the misty distance, even though it's only this far away. So it's an exaggerated form of atmospheric perspective that we usually use in landscapes. You could draw a whole pile of leaves in if you want to. You would definitely, with a watercolour painting, you draw them all in first. But I'll just try and wing it. So the idea is, if you're painting a set of gum leaves on a tree, let's say doing a painting of a bird, and there's gum leaves all around the bird. I'll just use this brush. I'll show you how to do really nice leaves. So here's my green. I'll pull in a bit of blue, pull in a bit of yellow just to get it to just the right spot. And then if I put lots of water in this to start off with, then I can get some gum leaves in the background. That's just rough paper, this one. Just do some little gum leaves here. I'll use my sword stroke method. Did you see that? So if you start off with a sword stroke, put it down into a run stroke, and then end up with a sword stroke, you get a nice little sharp-ended gum leaf in one shot. So there's another tip. And you can vary your colour a bit as well. So some bluey ones over here, or bluer anyway. But trying to make them really pale. So lots of water. I need lots of water in this dish. So if there's some gum leaves here, really pale. So maybe there's some gum leaves that are poking off sideways. Oop, too drippy. So we want to get the idea of crazy gum leaves going everywhere here. Just going to fatten that stroke up a bit. There we go. Look at how Modern Mind has gone. 2 exactly the same on both sides. So now I've got to bust that up and make it different. So I just want a mess of gum leaves everywhere. See, I'm dipping into the dish every time. But as pale as pale as pale. I would actually go a notch paler than that in the first layer. But it's looking more like Chinese bamboo or something than gum leaves at the moment. But whatever. And so you need to get that layer completely dry. So actually I would do a paler layer again first. This was a little bit too dark. Once that is all dry, then you can go over the top with richer colour and richer colour. So give me a second while I just blast this with a hairdryer. So then you mix up a stronger mixture to go over the top, always trying to get a bit of variation. Can you see there's a little bit of variation in these leaves? There's some bluish, oh, it's a bit hard to see in the camera. I can see it here in real life, but some of the leaves are bluier and some are greenier. It's the camera's not picking it up, unfortunately. I'll try and exaggerate it more in the next layer. So I go a little bit richer again for the next layer. And this time I'll pretend that I don't see these leaves at all. And I'll just put some new leaves over the top. I'm going to make them bamboo. Just because the brush wants to paint bamboo today. Bit stronger again for this next layer. I'm getting lots of nice dry brush effects here. Not on purpose, but we'll just go with it. So that's already getting some sort of sense of depth. See how the ones that are misty in behind look a little bit further back? So quick blast again. Now we've got to go really strong mixture. So I'm going to pull in lots of colour and make it quite rich. And right over the top, ignoring all of those, bring a bit more dark in so that it's a stronger dark. It's quite a nice effect having that dry brush stroke happening. It's got some nice little poles in there, little shoots. Sword stroke. So can you see that sense of distance that's happening there? It kind of looks like they're sitting in the mist and only the ones that are right up close to your nose are showing. And the ones in behind are sitting behind a little bit of a misty cloud. Even though there might be no mist in this particular painting, it's a visual technique that you can use to show a mass of leaves without making it totally messy, and it's also making it have some depth.